This week in the Restroom, we get our parachute pants and members-only jackets on for a lame 80s comedy from 2011. We've got 80s soundtrack, 80s fashions, 80s locations, 80s references, and actor Dan Fogler essentially screaming all of his dialogue like a meth addict trapped inside a gas station restroom. It's Take Me Home Tonight. And before we flush it, we're going to take it out and play with it a little. Restroom Cinema. We're here to flush it, so you don't have to see it. Greetings, everyone. I am Honor Knight, your head cinematic flusher right here in the Restroom. As always, I'm joined by my lovely co-cinematic flushers, Midwest movie mogul Colleen Griffin.
Hey, hey, hey.
Raging Buddha B-movie queen Nora Crest.
What's up?
And sassy cinephile Sarah Polton.
Hi.
Let's kick off this flush with a round of Thunder Dump. Blow some ass. I'll put 60 seconds on the Restroom clock, and we're going to go around the cinematic bowl to see who has the worst alternate title for this week's cinematic turd. The loser will then get to read the RSS, that's Restroom Stall Stats, in a funny voice of my choosing. Here we go. Griff!
St. Elmo's Dumpster Fire.
Crest!
I hate the 80s.
Bolton!
Take me trampoline tonight.
Not bad, not bad. I had Come On Eileen. Let's watch something else. Griffin!
That 80s shit show.
No. Chris!
Take Me Home Tonight, which doesn't include the song Take Me Home Tonight.
Bolton!
Liar, liar.
No, I had a total eclipse of this cinematic shark. Ew! Griffin!
Can't hardly wait for this movie to end.
Crest.
Every 80s cliche and bad line from
No, I'm just going to stop you right there because it sucks so bad. Polton!
The Koch brothers.
No! I have, you got to fight for your right to watch a better film. Griffin!
Huge mistake.
Jesus, no. Polton. No, I'm sorry, Crest.
At least the soundtrack was good.
No, Polton.
The Biggest Loser.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, and on that note, we are at his time. At his time. Oh, my God. You guys started out okay, but boy, we tanked out. Crest, you had the worst one. The one I had to stop you on. Guess what? You're the big loser this week. All right. So Nora Crest is the big loser this week. She's going to read the RSS. That's our Restroom Stall Stats. The funny voice she is going to do it in is that of an 80s Valley girl. Have at it.
Like, oh my God, Take Me Home Tonight is like 2011 American retro comedy film directed by Michael Dowles. And starring an ensemble cast led by Topher Grace, as if, and Anna Faris. The screenplay was written by two dicks, Jackie and Jeff Filgo, former writers of this television sitcom, That 70s Show, right? So they totally just had to like suck Topher Grace's dick and put him in this shit. And principal photography was completed in 2007. But Universal Studios shelved the film until 2011 because there was too much drugs in the film and they thought that would be too grody for everyone. So Take Me Home Tonight was a box office flop. Duh. The film grossed $6.9 million in North America, failing to recoup its $19 million, which went to making the fucking ball, okay? On Rotten Tomatoes, the film has an overall approval rating of 28%. Based on 115 reviews, and I think that 100 of them didn't even see the movie.
There you go. Great job, Miss Crest,
Oh
with your 80s Valley girl. Holy shit.
That's more 80s than you'll get in the entire film.
Yeah.
I forgot.
So true.
I forgot that this movie was shelved for so long.
Right.
Yeah, well, and for good
And
reason.
it literally was because of the drug usage. The studio did not want to put it out.
Which I get it, because what the fuck?
I know.
Well, because Topher Grace had the idea that a movie about the 80s had to show outrageous drug use or it wouldn't be authentic. Because, of course, everyone who went to high school in the 80s apparently was doing coke and fucking,
Oh, yeah.
smoking marijuana everywhere because that's all people did, and fucking all over the place, at parties, because that's what
like in
everybody
the
did.
80s, people were doing drugs more than smoking cigarettes. Okay.
No.
Did Bret Easton Ellis get an uncredited rewrite on this? Like, seriously.
Yeah, the 80s did call, and they're begging you to leave their decade alone, please. Can we wrap it up with the decade? Look, I went to high school from 1983 to 1987. I did not do half the shit they did in this film, okay?
Exactly.
I did not smoke dope the entire time. I did not do cocaine. There might have been some other stuff. But none of it was fun or interesting.
Nobody talked like that in the 80s.
No,
they're basically like one movie quote or song quote.
This movie was about as good at portraying the 80s as Dirty Dancing was at portraying the 60s.
Hey, don't you badmouth Dirty Dancing. It was awesome.
Oh,
The
I
60s.
will
No,
say
don't
I
even say
said
that. You do not.
Put baby in the
You,
corner.
you do not put honor in the corner. Cut that shit out. You know.
Boy.
You know your film sucks when even Anna Faris isn't funny.
She was the straight man in this movie.
Let's write a January Jones character for Anna Faris.
Let me say this. Of course, you know my obsession with the May-December casting. I like Teresa Palmer as an actress. I think she's a good actress, but she's 7 years younger than Topher Grace, and we're supposed to believe they were in the same graduating class. Anna Faris is 2 years older than Topher Grace, and Chris Pratt and Anna Faris are the same age. Chris Pratt, Anna Faris, and I are all the same age. We're born in 76.
Chris Pratt was born in 79. Now that
That's right. He's the same age as my sister.
But my question is, why are you going to cast a comedic actress and give her nothing to do that's funny? This is the problem. Why couldn't you just got somebody else that could have done that role who's just a straight person? That's why this drives me crazy. We've seen this time
again. January Jones.
This turn has two things in common with Guardians of the Galaxy: Chris Pratt and the annoying '80s soundtrack. We're going to talk about that right now. No, yeah, it does.
Guardians of the Galaxy is one of the greatest Marvel movies.
I'm not throwing.
I'm excited for Volume 2.
We're not.
I
Look,
fucking love the soundtrack.
yeah, folks, this is your time this week. We're tying this because Chris Pratt's in this fucking nightmare, and he turns up as Star-Lord again in Guardians. Look, I like the first Guardian. I'm not throwing shit on the first Guardians. The verdict's.
Apparently, the second one.
It's got mixed reviews, so I'm gonna wait.
I've heard it's the best reviewed Marvel movie of all
right,
time.
I don't know about that, guys.
Me.
Folks, Guardians comes out tomorrow, but before you get to that, let's keep listening to us here. Video killed a radio star. Boy, nothing screams 1988 better than this overplayed chestnut that was actually released in 1979. Well done, guys. It's not even an 80s song, you fucking morons. MTV.
And it wasn't even retro.
Yeah, I know.
Uncool at that point.
Yeah, this is what we're opening. This is the opening sequence. We're not even to the credits saying there. So basically, the opening sequence is Dan Fogler and Topher Grace inside this fucking music store, which didn't look anything like music stores did in the 1980s. But that's a separate thing right now. It's a production problem. Me likey. Why is Dan Fogler cosplaying as Michael Douglas from Wall Street?
No.
With the fucking suit and the hair slicked back?
He's like a combination of... and he was also born in 1976, by the way.
Yeah, I know. He is
he was more convincing in his role, his Tony-winning role as a middle schooler in a spelling bee.
I thought Dan Fogler is the Bobby Moynihan of this turd. That's his entire performance.
He's actually quite accomplished.
I wish he would have done more Bobby Moynihan.
And you know what? I think
it would have been better.
I think Bobby Moynihan stole Fogler's performance from this film when he did that shitty movie with those two chicks, Polar
Excuse
and.
me, are you fucking bagging on sisters right
now? Yeah. I think Bobby Moynihan was doing Fogler's performance. That's first of all, Sisters. All right. Sisters is a terrible fucking movie.
Dwayne and Sisters is amazing.
All right, we're not gonna.
Amazing. And P.S. Tina Fey and Amy Poehler are fucking gold.
They weren't not in that film. They weren't. It's a terrible movie.
Yes,
but that's a separate.
Yes,
flush.
No,
All right.
It gets better the more you watch it.
That's like saying hemorrhoids gets better the more you have it. It doesn't. It hurts. Okay.
You're not a woman and you don't have a sister. And you're not a sister with a sister.
You spent 7 minutes in heaven shitting. Oh, you spent 7 minutes shitting your pants and not making a move. This is generally how I operate here in the restroom. But more importantly, it's nice to see Anna Faris's face caked out in the proper amount of war paint so we can properly recognize her. I will say that about her. We knew who she was. Unlike that other fucking movie we flushed, I didn't recognize her.
If you've seen her recently, she looks like herself again.
No, she had a ton of makeup at that when Star-Lord was getting his fucking star in the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Oh, like her lips are normal again.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that is true. Yeah, she's still got the makeup, the cat eyes, but the lips are normal. So she looks better now. She didn't look great in this film, by the way, but she is wearing a shit ton of makeup. We'll have a bottle of chilled white Zin. Cue Inspector Clouseau mowing around the 3-minute mark as Fogler knocks over every music store displaying a chain reactor we've seen in only about 3,700 films. Real quick, he's just trying to hit on some older woman who's a cashier. Topher Grace and Anna Faris are brother and sister. Fogler's the best friend to Mr. Grace. These guys all look about 35 years old, even though they just got out of college. Take me home tonight. Hey, folks, enjoy these opening credits as we vomit up every 80s reference we can onto the screen like Drew Barrymore after a 3-day bender. My God.
Dude,
every
stop.
Rubik's Cube. And it's 80. See how they tied that in? Boy, that's just good writing, guys. You guys just don't appreciate the real good, deep writing that I do every week here on the show.
Because she actually turned her life around.
Yeah, there's always these opening credits that they feel that they have to literally cram every 80s reference. Once again, folks, if you lived through the 80s or you grew up through it like I did, all of this did not happen at the same time. It sure as hell didn't happen in an opening credits sequence. It didn't work. The decade did not work like that. We like to think it did. Hey, don't I know you? You're the dude who time traveled from that 70s show to star in this lame comedy released in 2011. Topher Grace. I know Miss Poland. I think you dated Topher Grace, right? Not the actual actor, but that type of character. This misogynistic a-hole.
About 30 of these guys.
Okay,
yeah.
all right. So there you go. So that's where we're at. Miss Poland's dating.
Suncoast videos that don't exist anymore.
Yeah, Poland.
Actually, there's like a Tumblr or something where people are posting the only Suncoast videos that exist.
Are there still some?
Like our Suncoast music that exists in the world.
Really?
Oh, there's one left, isn't it? And it's
By your house?
Is it your house? Yeah.
No, it's probably in Indiana. It
Yeah.
probably is. It's kind of blocked. Sure.
Yeah, it's on your corner, right? So are you going to Kyle Masterson's party tonight? I've been to a few parties in the 80s, folks, but sadly none of them had any hot blonde chicks like Teresa Palmer. And I put hashtag 80s myth. Mr. Topher Grace is still hooked on his high school crush, which turned out to be this amazing hot blonde woman, Teresa Palmer. I guess she's, 35 in this movie, or 30? I don't know. She's way fucking old. But she's supposed to be just out of college. But this did not happen in the 80s, guys. There were no women like this that showed up at these parties. At least not the ones maybe I just went to the wrong parties. I don't know.
No, you know what else didn't happen? And I didn't live through the 80s at that age, but I'm pretty sure it didn't. The concierge bell at the desk.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm not buying your bullshit, Barry. And neither are we, Dan Fogler. When the best tool in your acting toolbox is screaming, you know your career is in trouble. That's all this guy does for the entire 97 minutes is scream.
What is with the
And not funny.
wordless cameo by Bob Odenkirk? Better Call Saul.
Barry Dan Fogler's character works for a car dealership, and he's not a very good salesman.
He works for Saul.
Yeah, right. As real, he ends up getting fired from his job because he blows his sale. And I guess Bob Odenkirk, who has nothing to say in that role, just fires him and throws him out. And these kids pick him home. They go home for dinner because this is what we all did in the 80s. Well, look at it this way, Barry. At least you went for it. Just like 80s star Michael Biehn went for that easy paycheck to co-star in this 80s comedy, and I put that in quotes, released in 2011. At the 11-minute mark, that all kind of worked together. Michael Biehn looked so miserable in this film, I bet he was secretly hoping either a Terminator or an alien would burst onto the set and kill all of the cast members.
God.
That poor guy. He's such a good actor, too, and it's a shame he's wasted. The guy is completely wasted in this role.
This scene totally reminded me of Donnie Darko. Dinner table scene in Donnie Darko.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So we got some Donnie Darko fans out there. You're whipping it up real good now. Screenwriting pro tip: when you run out of decent dialogue, folks, just speak in song lyrics or lyrics.
Oh my God.
Oh, we need to mention this. Topher Grace apparently said he works at Goldman Sachs.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We should set up
He
the fact.
lies.
Yeah, he lies.
He went
Right.
to MIT, but he doesn't want to take a job out of college. Millennials, this is how it used to be. You used to have a choice.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
I just want to punch him in his smug
Whoa,
little
whoa, all right,
He
whoa,
doesn't
whoa.
have
This
any
is
college
really-
debt
okay,
because his
yeah,
dad
this is
could
a
afford
really important-
MIT in the 80s.
His dad's a cop, though. He wouldn't have been able to afford MIT at a cop salary.
You could have paid 25% of his retirement
Oh, okay,
fund.
all right.
So clearly he was saving his money. He put 2 kids in college, in the major colleges. And I'm sure Topher
Major.
Grace was smart enough to get some grants and shit, too,
Oh,
because
yeah.
he was like Mr. Brainiac.
He's like,
If Anna Faris even applied to Cambridge, she was smart enough to probably get scholarships.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
they both the kids went to college, and Topher Grace, instead of getting a job in his field or something, he ends up taking a job at engineer, which would be the logical thing for MIT, of course. He ends up working at fucking Suncoast Video.
Because he doesn't know what he wants to do.
Yeah, you know.
White problems.
And this is Sarah Polton's dating pool right here. This is what she's got to deal with.
I want to
yeah,
die.
I know. See,
watching
already.
this guy.
See,
Punch him in his smug little face.
Oh man, yeah. Well, let me ask you that, Sarah, because you do date a lot more than we do. Have you had? Well, I'm not saying that because she's loose. I'm just saying that. Well, have you had guys lie about where they worked, like this asshole did, saying they work? He worked.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, there you go.
Yes,
So this is a real
yes,
thing.
yes.
All right. There you go. All right. So this is not. So that part's not too far off the mark, and that's a really shitty thing to do, guys. Really, never date above your
Don't
pay
do that.
grade.
But
right?
can I just say something? She knew he was full of shit from the get.
You
because
think?
She even says, everyone says to him, Goldman Sachs doesn't have a fucking LA office. Right there. He's
Right. You're done. It's
I'm
L.A.
just here for the weekend visiting. But he never even
No.
comes up with an excuse like, oh, I'm just here for the weekend visiting my
Right.
family. Like, that would have made sense. Like, oh,
It's
okay,
like-
great.
Play that fucking music, white boy. I'm Star-Lord, man. Chris Pratt shows up around the 15-minute mark decked out in a high collar and an arm cast that his character probably got from beating around one of his girlfriends.
Yeah, they never explain that. What the fuck?
They never explain how he got the cast. And first of all, it's the 80s and everything, but he's obviously from a rich family, and that
Yes.
just looks like he went to some ghetto-ass
I
clinic.
know. It's
And,
yeah.
like, you know, like, come on, he would have had a family doctor.
Oh,
He would
you're
have
right.
had the fancy shit.
We should mention that Chris Pratt is probably famous because he mesmerizes everyone with that high forehead of his. You know how shiny his forehead was huge on this film. You notice that it's all shiny? It's all forehead in this film.
No, he delivers lines well.
Okay, well that's what we said earlier when we were bagging on him for getting where he is. But all right, I really don't want to spend tonight in the LA County Jail giving some white supremacist a crying blowjob. Hey, now there's a film we'd rather see, right? So. On their way to the party, because Chris Pratt, I should say, is hosting the big party. He's some rich boy, and I guess his parents are out of the country. He's got this huge fucking house, and he holds a Labor Day party every year to finish out the school year for whatever
So
squad.
basically,
ahead.
basically this is Traffic, the prequel.
Yeah.
This is what got Topher Grace addicted to drugs.
This would be the film. So anyway, he's the host of this big party. His girlfriend is Anna Faris, which is Topher Grace's sister. And this is the film they met, folks. In case you're wondering why, the other reason why we're doing this is where the happy couple met, was on this movie. So on the way to the party, Dan Fuller does not want to go to the party in this shitty car that Mr. Vaughn is driving, or actually it's Anna Faris driving this car. So they stop by the former place of
It's
employment.
Plymouth.
It's a car dealership in Plymouth, thank you. To pick up a car unofficially. Test drive? Because that's what we all did in the 80s, folks. We steal high-end cars while Straight Outta Compton plays on the radio.
Oh
that,
my
nobody,
god! I pulled
boy.
my sweatshirt over my head during that scene because they lip synced every word, including all the N words. It was so cringeworthy and awful.
In case you're
I
wondering...
don't care if it's accurate. I didn't want to see it.
No,
It's accurate, but it's still not as good as the Office Space scene with Michael Bolton basically doing the
Yeah.
same thing, which is one of the greatest crazy scenes of all time.
But at least
But then again, they just stole it. They
acknowledged
stole it.
They acknowledged the hypocrisy of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I mean, all
this
this
was
this
just-
movie does is steal scenes from other movies, boilerplate theme of like, oh, boy wants girl, he's a nerd, she's cool, oh no, how's he gonna get her? Oh, he's gonna lie to her. Oh god, and then they have that. Oh no, like
No,
oh
no,
my
no,
god.
The thing is, no. What I'm saying about this scene where they are saying every single word of that rap, they do nothing to show that they're self-aware in any way.
No, they don't. And in case you're wondering where Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson got their hysterical singing along to songs gag from The Internship, folks, look no further than the 20-minute mark of this turd. So in case you want to know,
God.
we're tired of seeing that shit. And we really didn't like it in Internship. And we might even last year.
Seriously, it was so bad. So bad.
Yeah, it's really bad. I don't think he knows what via means. Is anyone surprised Chris Pratt doesn't know what via means? Oh, shit. Yeah, cheap shot there. Okay.
He's supposed to be sort of an antagonist or a bad guy,
Yeah, but he
was
never is.
fine.
Well,
There's nothing bad about him.
I have a theory. This was actually filmed before Parks and Rec.
Yeah, it was,
Do
right.
you,
yeah.
do you think the showrunners got wind of this, and that's why they cast him?
That could be. Yeah. I mean, it was exposure, right? So, and he was
But it's his character.
That's true, too. He's a little clueless. Yeah, I got it, but a sweet guy. So the ball is ... balls. Do you think screenwriter Jackie Filgo was blowing Jack Filgo when they came up with this line? I guess we should mention the screenwriters. I'm assuming they're not brother and sister, because that joke would be really horrific if that was the case. Actually, it would be funnier. I'm assuming they're a married couple who can't... And they worked on that 70s show. And I guess that's how they ended up coming up with this
God,
nonsense.
is that who Mila Kunis was named after?
Jackie and Jack Filgo? Maybe. I don't know. We'll have to ask him. I work at Suncoast Video. For all you kids that didn't grow up in the 80s, Suncoast Video was the Down syndrome brother to Blockbuster Video. There you go. Come on! Oh, is this microphone on? Great.
Come on.
You act like you
Come on.
Come on, that was good. Ah, I worked so hard on that one too. God damn it.
Oh,
I'm
Um,
sure you did.
Oh, now it's funny because you fucking worked hard on a fucking bad joke. Jesus Christ.
Actually, well, I'm sorry. I didn't know the comedy police showed up at the door.
are the
Okay,
comedy police.
apparently you
That's
guys
the
are
name of the podcast, Comedy Police.
yeah, Honor Knight's Comedy Police podcast. Yeah, I guess.
Bad jokes. What are you gonna
Yeah,
do?
all right. Really, Griff?
Or
Really?
do Bad jokes,
All
bad jokes.
right, folks. We'll be here all week. Jesus. And Griffin with the win. All right, she saved it. Oof. She's got Betty Davis eyes. But thank God that's all Teresa Palmer has from Betty Davis, because Betty Davis be old as fuck. And perhaps dead.
That
27-minute
makeup
mark.
was
Well,
Yeah,
not
I
in the 80s. Well,
Yeah.
she was not.
So they all arrive at the party. We should make it. They arrive at the party, and as a result, they're kind of circulating. And of course,
Why
Miss-
is she wearing the working girl
I
dress?
know. I said also.
and that makeup. Oh my
Oh,
god.
yeah, I also said Teresa Palmer's hair is so plastered back with product, she looks like she halo dropped into the party. That hair is back, dude. It's like out and back. It's a lot of product, guys.
She put
Woo.
80s televangelist to shame.
She did look like what's her name?
Tammy
see.
Faye.
Damn, there you go. I was a little slow on that joke.
Yeah, I know more about the 80s than you do.
I know, and I lived it. Yeah. Top 10 Honor Knights Miss 80s references. Yes, that would be one of them. Yeah, Tammy Faye Baker. She does. She's plastered out. Again, guys, I've been to a few parties in the 80s. A lot of the women did not come looking like this. Most of them didn't, except for that one.
Wait, a lot of the women did not come.
That too. Hey, oh wow, Griffin. All right. I guess Griffin is the Jim Norton of the show tonight. So we'll have the floor on that one.
Oh, whatever.
So anyway, they're circling around the party, and of course, there's always that scene where the Topher Grace, the main character, sees the girl for the first time. You know, with all the product in her hair and the wind's blowing. You know, they have the fans going, and it doesn't, guys. It's not. And so I think it was slow motion too. We've all been there. It's rote, guys. We've seen this trope. We actually saw this stuff in 80s movies. The funny thing is, this was filmed in, 2007, was released in 2011.
Yeah.
They're just repeating stuff that was in the 80s to begin with. And it worked better there because then it was original, you know?
Well, I still feel like Can't Hardly Wait did this, the best because
Way better.
I
they
agree.
did it
I agree.
on purpose. They showed that they were doing this on purpose, like all the character entrances on purpose.
Yes.
Entrances. Sorry, I've been sick.
Okay, so Dan Foger can't get any action going at this party, and it's no surprise. He's an idiot, and he's got zero social skills when it comes to dealing with women. So we should mention that the car that they stole off the lot was a really, I don't know what kind of car it was. I forget. Forgive me, but it's a nice one. In the glove
It
compartment
was
of
a
the car,
Mercedes,
really nice one, a really nice one. In the glove compartment, there's a little bag of cocaine. I guess the boss had tucked away.
No,
so.
it's not. It's like the biggest bag of cocaine.
All right,
ever.
it is.
It's never-ending coke.
Yeah, it's an.
Yeah.
We should mention that it is an endless bag of.
This cocaine bag is like the bullets in most guns in a movie. It
It's
just
like
never ends.
So refilling
you.
8-ball. Yes, there's a lot of cocaine.
Right.
So they tuck it away, and of course now to get a handle on his shit, he has to do cocaine. And that's where he says we're doing cocaine in the bathroom, which is what we all should have been doing to get through this turd. Safety dance, because when we all did coke in the 80s, folks, this is a song we heard in our heads, which actually, that might not be too far off the mark. I was not a coke fiend in the 80s, but I will have to rely on the people I went to school with.
Something somebody who was a coke fiend in the 80s would say.
Oh boy.
Ba-dum-bum. Safety dance, great song, folks. Everything changes, but nothing really changes. Exactly. This is why we're still writing lame comedies in 2011. Just like we did in the 80s. Nothing really changed.
No, this was 2007, dude.
Yes, I should forget. It was released in 2011. It was actually filmed in 2010. They should have just left it on the shelf. You know how many films are just left on the shelf in studios? Don't release it. There's no reason to even release this film. It's just so bad and unfunny. But then again, if they didn't, maybe Chris Pratt would not have had a career.
No, because he was already on Parks and Rec when this came out.
Oh, was he?
Yeah,
in 20?
like Parks and Rec.
When it came out, though. Not when
Parks
it.
and-
Rec
No,
made him.
no,
This movie,
nobody
people
knows
didn't even
he's
know
in
he was
this.
in it. They didn't
Yeah.
advertise that he was in it.
Oh, okay.
And nobody went and saw it.
Oh, all
If
right.
people had advertised at the time in 2011 that Chris Pratt was in it, more people would have gone to see it.
Okay, that's fair. They're having a dance-off, mainly because we came up short on the screenplay and needed to fill out the running time at the 35-minute mark. Boy, I'm sick of seeing this. The last great dance-off was in Zoolander. That's it, guys. Wrap it up. I don't see any more fucking dance-off.
The
Or
best-
walk-off.
no,
That
the
was a
best
walk-off.
dance-off
I'm sorry.
was in Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh, well, all right, with the exception of, the great Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Here, it's terrible because basically Dan Fogler's so coked up he can't do shit. And the other guy literally is straight out of the 80s, like he time-warped. Because that guy was in the
His
80s.
hair was so
he
good.
wasn't.
That guy was in the
His hair
80s.
was fucking
That-
on point. That shit
The
was
hair-
awesome.
yeah, it
And he had
was.
his beaded vest
Yeah.
on.
Oh, no, he was
fucking
ready.
beaded
That
vest.
guy.
I had that.
Yeah,
vest.
we've seen that guy in the
was
80s.
fucking-
Yeah. You were my high school crush, and I just physically assaulted you in front of a bunch of people, which is what we all did in the 80s, because shit wasn't PC back then. You can get away with that stuff. That was when they meet cute on the dance floor, right? Or they do something. I don't actually, now I'm looking at the line out of context, but Teresa Palmer finally starts talking to Topher Grace, but he's such a...
No,
such
she
a-
used him. Or she used him before this to
Right.
get out of talking to douchey McGee.
Oh, yeah, that guy,
The
yeah.
pleated pants.
Sarah, you've dated that guy, though, right? The pleated pants guy?
Yeah, oh.
Yeah, okay, that's
Recently,
a yes.
yeah.
Oh. Well, there you go,
Nobody
folks.
brings I know the 80s are coming back right now, but
Yeah.
please, people, do
Yes.
not bring back the shoulder pads. and the
Yeah,
pleated
not, yeah,
pants.
yeah.
Oh, my
yeah.
God, shoulder
boy.
pads actually are coming back.
Oh, please, no,
Everybody looks like a
please.
football player. I love this song. And I love how the makeup department fixed Palmer's hair between shots around the 38-minute mark. And we're talking about the sexual assault, or physically assaulted. Jesus, not there. We're not there yet. Basically, someone's choking on a ice cube. And instead of grabbing the right girl, Topher Grace grabs Teresa Palmer thinking she was choking on the ice cube. And that's what we're talking about, the physical assault thing, which isn't funny. But the thing is, he shakes her so hard, all her product falls out of her hair. So it's completely flat. And then, and a minute later, obviously, they went in and touched her up a little bit. Because they had a real hard time keeping her hair in the same position the entire night. Did you notice that?
So
Because
true,
this
yes.
whole film takes place on one night.
Because you can't get the hairspray, the
Right,
actual
you
spray
can't do
they
it.
had in the 80s because it's illegal
Oh,
now.
that's
Actually,
right.
Now you can't. Now you
What?
can't.
What? Where's this shit at?
I'm not-
Apparently in Indiana they don't care about the
Yeah,
No, it's illegal everywhere. It's illegal everywhere.
I don't know. Indiana's still stuck in 1988,
No,
so.
no, actually, it's what Beyonce uses, y'all.
Oh,
Oh,
ah.
that's some-
Elnet.
Enough said.
L'Oreal Elnet.
What secret warehouse has this, cases of that shit laying around? Come on.
probably on the same ship from Waterworld that had all the spam.
Your dance was cool. It was like anti-dancing. Just like actress Michelle Trachtenberg is doing an anti-role of her character in Buffy the Vampire Slayer by appearing in this dude as a goth chick around the 42-minute mark. Did anybody
She
recognize
was
her?
much better in Euro Trip. I'm just gonna say
Oh,
that.
she was in that.
Yeah.
You're right. She was better in that. Okay, I guess some actresses like to break out of their own box in terms of roles, and they take shit like this. But she's not really that gothy. Like she's
I know.
funny,
I
but
like. I feel bad.
she's cute. She's
because
still
I like
cute.
her.
I like her a lot.
I wanted her to make it.
It'd be like Sarah Polton doing goth. Like she'd still be
I've
be
done
goth.
goth.
Oh, there you
I'm
go.
good at
Right,
it.
but oh, never mind. Okay, all right.
You
all
don't
right.
know her life.
All right,
You don't
yeah,
know
it's
her
yeah.
life.
Apparently not.
I'm
Apparently
real
not.
pale, so I
Okay.
can do goth.
Oh, that's
It's
true.
easy.
Okay, yeah. Well, all right. So never mind. All right. Maybe I overshot my mark on that one. You're so scared you can't choose anything. Not a girl or a job or a decent role for that matter. So yeah, they have a fight. Mr. Anna Faris, Miss Anna Faris, I'm sorry, and Topher Grace have it out in the
Because
closet
they're
room.
twins, and that's believable.
Yeah, that's not believable at all.
And they
But
barely acknowledge that they're twins.
the problem is that
Except for at the
Topher.
very beginning, they have that twin conversation,
Yeah,
which
just
I
a-
can do with my kids, with almost anybody I know. Like,
Exactly. Topher Grace just cannot pull the trigger on anything, and and he's supposed to be our protagonist. Man, it's hard to get behind this type of character when he's this much of a douche for almost the entire running time.
Oh, hey y'all.
Hey, y'all.
Remember how I said I wanted to do the one with Adrian Brody?
Yeah.
Guess who else is in it?
Who's that? Topher Grace.
Yep.
Oh, see, douchebag central there for that film, folks. If you
Okay.
want us to flush,
We got to find a reason to do
yeah,
that.
if you want us to flush Predators, let us know. We'll take that one as well. How many cans of hairspray in Palmer's hair to keep it in place during this convertible scene around the 48-minute mark? Now, we talked about that Elnet. I'm guessing it's Elnet keeping that in place because they're driving in a convertible. Her hair is barely moving. They must have either been driving really slow.
I don't even have a moonroof.
Yeah.
And whenever I put I have my hair up in a bun. When I put my windows down like a crack, Like, my hair's a mess.
Exactly. Yeah, this is bullshit. This is another one of these movie bullshit things. There's no way any woman can ride in a convertible any faster than over 15 miles an hour without her hair, or a guy's hair going to complete. My hair goes to complete shit. And folks, you see my photos, I have a little bit longer hair, man. I can barely step out of my house. And this shit's all fucked up. I gotta get that. Where the hell is that Elnet? What warehouse do we gotta get this Elnet stuff at? Somebody's gotta get on some X-Files shit and get some of the cans of that stuff in the restroom here. We need that. I need some product.
Yeah.
Yes, here. What you
Can
got?
we talk about the game that they play in the car? And
Oh, go
I
ahead.
can tell when you're looking at my boobs game.
Which is like the dumbest fucking thing ever. Like that's
That's weird, right?
all right.
Yeah,
First of all, let me ask you, ladies. Though, can you tell when a guy's looking at your boobs all the time?
Can.
I love how the lesbian answered first. I asked about if a guy knows.
got
Like,
boobs.
yeah. All right.
She's got boobs.
Yeah.
I
Well,
have boobs. They
look.
were ogled for a very long time.
wait, look. Yeah, that's
And they
true.
still
That's
get
true.
like 6 years ago, I decided I was just going to start wearing shirts with words on it and stuff so people would have a legitimate reason to be staring at my chest. I've literally been at dinners with my friends and they're just like staring, and
Really?
these are women, straight women,
Damn.
staring at my breasts. And I'm like, I said,
Really?
just do it. Just touch them already. They're
My
real.
God, really?
Touch them, feel them. I don't care. It's like, get it over with already. Like, you're just freaking out. They're gigantic. I get it.
I know. We all have boobs on the show. I don't get as much attention, I guess, as you gals did. Yeah, I know. I like my boobs.
But honestly, girls do. I mean, as a woman,
Well, I have to ask this
knew
because
when guys were looking,
okay, you
and
do
when
know.
they weren't looking, because I went through a long time with no boobs.
Is this par for the course? You guys just treat it as that, or are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
We were.
I mean,
This
are
was
you just?
actually the most 80s thing, the most 80s conversation for me
Oh,
in,
really?
in the film. This
Okay.
was like a realistic conversation to me that would have happened then. Like
Okay.
somebody that you're just joshing around with from high school.
Shit, that was amazing. Topher Grace being able to spit out all of his unbelievable bullshit in one take? Sure. Right, Polton?
Sure.
She's got, we have to, folks, she has a little PTSD. Apparently she dated 30 Topher Graces.
Oh my god.
We've
according to this
all
film.
dated.
We all, yeah,
Topher
yeah.
Grace. No,
But- but she's done the most.
Topher Grace.
But
No,
she-
he's
Would
the
I
nice
would
guy
I date
who's
Topher
like-
Grace, the real person?
No,
Yes.
no, she's not going to date Topher Grace. The real.
Yeah, if he was a nice person and he wasn't
I
a
don't know, I don't-
lying asshole who's shallow, then
Oh,
yeah.
ouch.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Okay.
But I can't.
Okay.
I can't with this character.
The character's killing you. It's killing you.
No, he's like the nice guy who's like not really the nice guy.
If they're trying to make a movie about the 80s, this guy would have honestly just been called all through high school a fucking pussy.
Yeah,
Nobody
exactly.
calls him a pussy
You're
in
right.
the
Well,
entire.
they
No.
did.
And I'm calling the movie out for that. If you want to do a movie
Yeah.
about the 80s and nobody calls somebody a retard or a pussy,
Wait.
So true.
Didn't Anna Faris call him that at one point?
Yeah, I think she does in that argument scene.
does she? Okay,
Yeah,
well then
yeah.
I take that back. But everybody who knew him in high school would have been like, "Whoa, it's the pussy," you know.
Exactly.
And the fact that they're twins would have been like a whole thing. Did you accidentally get a pussy too? Like, you know, like it would have been like a whole thing.
Nora should write this.
It would have been better if it was more about like Anna Faris and Topher Grace, and Dan Fogler just wasn't a plot point.
And we're about to set off Miss Polton's blood pressure with this next line. He wants to watch. Unlike the audience, who certainly doesn't want to see Fogler bang Angie Everhart around the 55-minute mark. Now, Paul brought up a great thing off Mike, that she claims that this guy was raped. And she mentioned, she goes, what about that rape scene? And I'm like, what the hell film are you watching? She's like, Barry. And I'm like, oh, if you look at it that way, he did kind of get raped. He was
yeah,
raped in
I
this scene,
hate
right?
that.
This is an awful scene. We should mention...
Trigger warning.
Trigger.
This is a real
was-
situation.
No, it is. Oh no, let's unpack this for a second because it's Dan Fogler meets there's somebody at this. They leave the original douche party, and a couple of the main characters go to a Hollywood Beverly Hills party, which they are like this guy. So this is not these kind of parties really are. They are the Eyes Wide Shut party. It's basically the Eyes Wide Shut party, where basically a bunch of rich douchebags are doing rich douchebag stuff. Fogler has the cocaine. He meets up with Angie Everhart, that was a famous model at the time, and sometimes actor. She's not that great, but she looks great in this film. Anyway, so she finds him interesting. They go into the bathroom. Now, she has an assistant who's this German fucking guy in black leather. I didn't know what this fucking guy was, but
No, he
anyway.
was clearly like her, her guy.
Yeah, her guy, just the guy,
who
yeah.
pays for everything
Right.
for her.
So they're
He's
in
her
the
sugar
right.
daddy.
It-
He's her sugar daddy.
yeah.
So you could have said like, "Oh, it's my husband,"
Or valet or whatever it is, but they're in the bathroom doing cocaine, and Angie Everhart wants to get it on, and then the German dude comes in, and she says, he wants him to watch, but Angie Everhart is so
laughing.
essentially rapes Dan Fogler, like he's into it for a second and then not into it. But go ahead, Polton, because I know you're chomping
She
at the
says
bit.
no, and she doesn't stop. That's
No,
what rape
she.
is.
That,
No means no.
Yeah, well,
Even
It's
on
so
her
gross.
message.
It's so wrong.
It's so
I
upsetting.
think she's
I
trying
didn't-
to recreate her role in a movie literally titled Sexual Predator.
ouch! Oh shit! Did she
in
really?
2001 with co-starring, are you ready for her
Oh,
co-star?
no.
Richard Greco. She plays a parole officer who
Oh,
sheds her
boy.
inhibitions as she begins a torrid affair with
So-
the man responsible for the death of her best friend.
Ew!
So,
Ah.
21 Rape Street.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah, my God, yeah.
But I'm bump. Hey.
I was watching this movie with my kid.
Oh,
and then
no.
The boobs come out.
Oh, the boobs
He
came out.
covered his own eyes though.
But yeah, Fogler does get sexually assaulted in this scene. We think it's played off as fun. I guess I don't know. In
It's
2001,
supposed to be funny.
like-
it's
at a
not
time.
funny. It's actually
No,
yeah,
it's
but
like,
when you
no, it's like a twisted episode of Rockets. Because you got this German guy here.
The German guy was funny.
What's going on?
yeah, it's
Awful.
creepy, and he wants to get into the action. I thought the German guy was gonna whip his dick out and then stick it in Folger's mouth. That would have been
What was that show on? Is HBO or Showtime? Was it Real Sex?
yeah.
And they would
That's a
Yeah.
great
show all
show.
these
Yeah.
things.
No,
There
it
was
was
a
this-
thing.
no,
There was an
this was like
episode of
Cops.
Real Sex where they talked about people who went to clubs
Okay.
where they would have their partners have sex with someone, and they would
Yeah,
just
watch. Yeah, that's a normal thing.
Hey.
Oh.
This
What,
is
what?
relevant to political
Hmm.
discourse today.
Yes.
Everybody's talking about cucks and
Yes.
conservatives. Okay, what you saw was actually what cucking is.
Oh,
Mhm.
all right. There you go, Sarah. You're learning.
I'm
Um,
learning so much today.
You are.
That's what a cuck
Oh,
is.
that's what a cuck is.
Somebody
Ah.
who's- Okay, cuck is somebody who wants their partner to have sex with somebody else and gets aroused by
Yeah, that's a
watching.
normal thing, and that's a normal sexual practice. That really isn't that far. It's not my thing, obviously. It's probably not most of our all of our
Not
co-flushers here.
obviously.
But yeah, the thing that makes it weird though is Polton pulls out. You know, it's played for comedy, but he really does get sexually assaulted. And we don't recommend. But because it happens to a guy, we just think it's funny. But if this was reversed, and it was a guy sexually assaulting a woman, like if Folger was sexually assaulting Angie Everhart, that would be a very different scene. So it's interesting how like it's okay that if we can we can laugh at it if it's a guy getting sexually assaulted,
No,
but
I
if it's a
don't laugh
girl,
at it.
I didn't know it's not funny at all. But
They
I'm saying
thought
it's
it
played.
was
But
socially acceptable
yeah.
for someone to write in
Right.
film it. And
Yeah,
no
yeah.
one thought, hey,
yeah,
why do we not do this?
right.
I don't know.
That was
Fucking
Polton's.
brain here and thought, oh, I don't know
No,
what
that
this
was
is. Sure.
that was. I bet you Jack and Jackie Filgo, the screenwriters, probably do this thing, right? They have sex
Oh
and
my
then
God.
another person watches. That'd be like somebody has sex with Jackie and Jack watches
Oh,
while he's
boy.
jerking
I mean,
off.
here's the thing.
Fucking
I'm
awesome.
not bagging on people who.
If it's
this is
consensual.
them watching
If
their
it's
partner have sex with
consensual.
someone
If
else.
it's con-
That's
right.
consensual.
Consensual.
That's
Yes.
consensual sex. So the thing of being a voyeur and watching
Right.
your partner be sexually intimate with someone else.
That's
and
fine if
that's
it's
what does it
consensual,
for you,
right.
That's fine if all
Right.
parties are consenting, but that's not what they were showing here. So the problem isn't the cuck guy. The problem is the rape.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I don't understand.
Not that we're
like,
trying to serious
why,
up the
like,
podcast.
That's not a sexual awakening for anybody.
No, it's not. It's just a ham-handed scene. It's not really that funny. And when you see it in that context, well, now that we just like put a Debbie Downer in the whole thing, it's not really funny at all. Okay, nice
also,
job,
if
Phil.
this had, like, spoiler alert, if this had scared him off of cocaine, it would have made
Yeah.
Oh,
sense.
that would have been good too, right? If there was a payoff to this, but there really isn't to that
There's
scene.
no payoff.
No, except that Angie Everhart whips out her tits, and we've all seen Angie Everhart's tits. Folks, just Google that shit if you haven't seen it. I hate it. I hate my job. Isn't it supposed to be a comedy and not a depressing Lifetime network? So at the same party, Mr. Topher Grace and Teresa Palmer have a heart-to-heart conversation. Drags the whole film way fucking down. Just like we did with the show, with that whole rape thing. But I wouldn't be sitting with you right now having the best night of my entire life. Unlike the audience who is no doubt checking their watches to see how much running time is left. It's a long, for only 97 minutes, guys, it kind of drags.
She admits she would not have gone out with him in high school, which seems to like justify him
Right.
lying to her.
Oh, yeah, all right, let's do this scene because I know Poland's probably going to chime in on this one. Come over here and put your lips as close to mine as possible, which is exactly how street hookers operate. No, there's no kissing. I double dare you to not throw up over Teresa Palmer kissing Topher Grace awkwardly on this trampoline scene, which looks like Ivanka Trump kissing one of her brothers around the hour and 5 minute mark. It's really bad, guys.
Fun fact. Apparently, Topher Grace and Teresa Palmer dated after this.
Yeah, I don't understand because they look really awkward.
And since you brought it up,
Uh-oh.
apparently Topher Grace and Ivanka Trump dated at one point.
Really? Oh, see, look at that! I tied that shit together. I'm on point. Okay, I'm still creeped out big time. So basically, they have no. We should mention they have no chemistry together as actors. They leave the party. They go next door to some other house. Nobody's home. So they have the scene on this trampoline. They end up fucking on the trampoline. And the line is, "How many times have you done that? Immediately put a bra back on right after having sex, ladies. How many times have you done that at the hour and 8 minute mark?"
No, it looks like she never took it off.
Well, she did in that previous scene, but she wouldn't show any
She
boomies.
did not do the full frontal.
No, there's no boom. No, you didn't
Kudos
sign
to her for not doing it for this film.
I would have
This
liked to
was
seen her
stupid.
tits. I would have liked to
see
seen her tits.
boobs.
I think we should have saw her tits. I think.
No.
Yeah,
You,
I agree.
No.
I'm not being a pig. I'm just saying.
That while still implying she took it off.
No,
well,
but
you don't
could.
have to put your bra back on if you were never wearing one. I'm just saying.
Oh, no, hey. I guess nobody's ever done it on a trampoline. I don't think fucking on a trampoline would be
No.
okay. All right, so geez, it's a hard no
I'm
on
just
ever.
thinking, like
Woo.
massive rug burn.
Seriously, I work at Suncoast Video, which is always a line you should say after banging a hot chick. The guy's a dick, and of course she immediately leaves him. And
But here's
go ahead.
the part that kills me. This is the part that pisses me off about this character is he's basically like, well, you're shallow because you only liked me for my job. But he's shallow because she's super hot. So he wouldn't like her if she was ugly. So
Right.
shut the fuck up.
Right, that's true.
Exactly.
You have to bring something to the table. And if you're not as
Yeah.
hot as her, maybe you have to make a lot of money.
Oh,
Just saying.
all right.
Think about it, right? He's got to bring something to the table. You don't get to be an unattractive loser and get a super hot chick. That's not how anything works.
If you're a loser, at least be charismatic.
Yes, he's nothing going
He's
for
not.
him.
He's
a piece of shit.
Yeah, but that speaks a lot about the actual actor Topher Grace, who I think is just a one-trick pony. I think he got lucky with that
No,
70s show.
actually, he's in.
I don't think he's that good of an
Brad Pitt's
actor.
New big movie.
With that one that's on Netflix, really?
I'm sorry, I find him engaging.
I don't-
feel like he's been miscast.
Venom? Yeah, I guess he was miscast. If you ever want to endure Spider-Man 3. I think he was okay in that 70s show. I liked him there. I thought he was affable. But everything I've seen him in since, post that, hasn't been that. It's been shit like this. It really just hasn't either been convincing or believable.
I think he should go back to TV.
Yeah, and I think he did well. Some people are just television actors, and that's not a bad thing. It's always like, I know it's a stigma,
You know what?
but
I'd love to see him show up on somewhere like Veep.
yeah, just in there where he can really
would be
shine.
fantastic.
He would. That's very good. All right, Griffin with the win on that one. We'll go. Yeah, I think, but sometimes they always just dreamed a little too big, and they kind of lose their way in terms of what they were able to offer, or overshot their talent, and and then they end up in crap like this. We only lost a little bit. Airbag cocaine gag around the hour and 12-minute mark. Maybe the funniest joke in film. I thought that was okay. They take the car out. They crashed the car because Topher Grace is so distraught over losing Teresa Palmer. First of all, he just got laid. I can't imagine this guy would be in this bad a mood, but he is because she's been. No, really, he did. He probably had half decent sex. I mean, she's really an attractive woman. I mean, he scored his high school crush. How many of us can say that? He's already accomplished most in what most people do in their life. And so but he's miserable. He wants to do cocaine. They crashed a stupid car. The airbag. I guess nobody was laughing there. I guess I'm the only one with the airbag cocaine joke. Where the cocaine
No,
gets
I'm
bumped.
just
All right.
thinking,
ahead.
like, it'd be much funnier if he hadn't done coke before.
Who? He didn't. Topher Grace.
No.
Oh, you're talking,
Oh,
what's his
no.
name? Dan Flo. He did a lot of coke.
Yeah.
And that was it, folks. That's
Exactly. Like, it blew up in his face.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. That would have been funnier. Right, you're right. That's also the never-ending bag of coke. I want to know where that is.
Oh my god.
That's a lot of coke in that.
Seriously.
How many lines did they do between
Like
Fogler?
bag. That is bad.
Between Fogler doing all of his coke and then Angie Everhart and Fogler doing coke, right? And then him doing coke like throughout the
And then
film.
they got the accident.
Guys,
he said,
let me
and then
t-
he goes, I didn't lose most of it.
Cocaine does not last that long, folks. I'm not a cocaine user, but I know cocaine goes pretty quickly. And then you're back in.
I mean,
and
they
you're
didn't
able-
have like a Kool-Aid bag size
Oh.
of cocaine or anything. Like
No,
you
no,
know,
it's a
the big
small bag.
Kool-Aid
It's a little
It was so
Kool-Aid
tiny.
bag, big Ziploc ass bag. It doesn't last that long. Cocaine's expensive. We should mention that. They don't really address the price point on cocaine, but it's a lot, guys.
In
Now,
the 80s, it was a fuck ton. Now it's like,
well, yeah,
you
now
know,
it's a little.
get it out of a 25-cent machine, you know.
Now it couldn't be any worse. Any worse than casting Michael Biehn in your shitty 80s film and not giving him anything interesting to do, as I'm slurring over that. Michael Biehn completely wasted. Folks, if you're a Michael Biehn fan, please do not watch this film. Watch Aliens. Watch The Abyss. There's 7 other, and The Terminator. I'm sorry. Those 3, and then you're good. I'm sorry I'm such a fucking failure. You think this is what Jack Filgo was screaming to Jackie Filgo when they wrote the screenplay? Alright, maybe that was just my private moment with the two screenwriters and me. And I was watching them fuck, too, because they invited me over. Wipe that Coke off your face. Boy, if I had a nickel for every time someone... no, whoa, never mind. Except that joke. I didn't... No, it didn't make any sense at all. So the cops that find them after they crash the car with the cocaine is, of course, his dad, who's a cop, and the partner. We should ask some logical questions. They don't arrest him because it's the dad. They let him go. But what happened to the car? How come the car did not get towed? How come the police...
No, this is...
Somebody want to back this up?
It doesn't make any sense.
All right. Because the car was stolen. It's a stolen vehicle.
How fucking problematic this movie is for the LAPD. We can make anything.
I know, but I'm saying, but the car was stolen a couple hours earlier. Why, like, the cops were not called? Why wasn't this car... They didn't find the car earlier than at this point? What happened to the car after they crashed it? Because it's never mentioned again. Was it towed? Was it taken back to the dealership? How come these guys weren't arrested for Grand Theft Auto?
I don't know. It was put in the same evidence locker as the bloody glove. I don't know.
Oh, wow, man. It was OJ'd, big time. Tonight was real, and it was amazing. And you forgot to add painful, annoying, and endless as well. All right, so now we circle back around to the party, the original party with Chris Pratt. And we should mention that there's a B subplot with Anna Faris and Chris Pratt. She was applied to Cambridge. She did not get into Cambridge. They got engaged at this party. They were boyfriend and girlfriend. They're moving into a condo together. He, in front of a whole group of people at the party, proposes to her. She says yes. But then starts having second thoughts when turns out to be a fucking douchebag at the end of this film. We're going to talk about that right now. So there's this big metal ball, hollow ball. It's a metal ball that you can sit inside, like a big, like the ones in Jurassic Park, but not see-through.
No, it was like the life-size
Jurassic World, I'm sorry.
Indiana Jones ball.
Yeah, but you can sit inside it. So the whole joke is if you ride the ball, then you're fucking cool. Nobody wants to ride the ball, but here we go.
Apparently the ball is so legendary that Topher Grace's dad...
Yeah, he knows about the ball.
Nobody's ridden the ball even in my day. So that means Topher Grace's dad and Chris Pratt's dad went to school together and fucking made this ball.
The big ball,
nobody
guys.
Rode it.
Big fucking ball.
That's the only way he can earn his father's respect.
I know.
Is to ride the ball.
There you go.
Not MIT.
All right.
I would dump this guy so fast.
Hang in there.
This man has terrible judgment.
I'm Matt Franklin. I work at Suncoast Video. And then I wrote, I'm Honor Knight. I'm the head cinematic flusher for Soiled Restroom Cinema. Define yourself, kids.
No, I feel like at this point, they ran out of
plot.
time.
Oh, yeah. They ran out of everything. I know.
Money, and they said, Topher Grace, just fucking wing it.
Exactly. Give me your fucking truck. Sure, let's argue over the truck while Topher Grace drowns inside a metal ball around the hour and 25-minute mark. Of course, his death might actually improve the comedy element of this film. So basically what happened is they let the ball go. It rolls down it hits every fucking car on the way down, and then goes down the side of a mountain. How this guy was still alive at the end of this, I have no idea, since there was no real seatbelts in that thing. Hits a pool. How he doesn't drown in the time that it takes him to get out of that ball is still, but anyway, he survives the ball, the rolling of the ball. The only funny joke, the bit of that is when he puked in his own face. I thought that was okay. I thought, yeah, it was gross,
I was
but
hoping he drowned. I was really hoping he drowned.
Poland was really over this movie. Now you're just a loser who rode the ball and fucked me. Are you happy? Oh shit, yeah. Who wouldn't be happy about that? He got laid. He survived the ball. I think it's a good night, guys. I think it's a pretty good night.
Can we just say, he's like, hey, lady, I really like you, but I have terrible judgment. I'm going to prove that I'm a good person by showing you that I have worse judgment than you previously thought.
Exactly. I was like, hey, want me to prove that I'm more of a dumbass than you ever imagined possible?
Might change my mind. Who knows?
Yeah, well, with you, yes. We should probably say goodbye before I screw this up again. Just like you screwed up Spider-Man 3. Too late, sir. Too late on that one.
No, that was not his fault.
Who wants breakfast or wants to throw up their breakfast? As the film ends, big happy ending, folks. They all make amends. Crest on credits. Is there anything at the end of this?
Nothing. They don't even do like fun outtakes from the movie in the credits. Right?
I want to mention real quick.
Like,
yeah, I know. No, they all went out of this film. This terrible fucking movie. We should also mention, I didn't mention this earlier, that all the 80s references and like that we know that we've been bagging on take place really in the first half of the movie. After that, it's just a standard film. They really dump all the 80s. The second half movie could have taken place in any time frame. I don't know if you guys noticed that for locations and dialogue, except for that one stupid bitch, the blonde-haired 80s, the Madonna girl who was dressed up at the party, who kept hitting on Topher Grace. That chick, that drunk chick.
Her.
Whoa,
Yeah, who was getting laid on the couch.
Kind
Remember?
of in a date rapey situation.
Yeah, oh yeah, she was getting raped on that couch.
She decided that she wanted it.
Yeah, she was so drunk.
You mean Lucy Punch? She's,
Oh, is that
she's
her?
British.
I love her.
She's
I
British.
love her.
Oh, really? Oh,
I do too.
Again,
She's
wasted.
very funny, actually.
See, that's a shame. Again, talent wasted. I'm so sick of seeing talent
I know.
wasted.
They fucked people in this movie.
Ugh.
Like,
When he caught her, she was like it almost like seemed like she was being
She was
date
mid-pumped.
raped
Yeah, she was mid-pumped. He was
until
mid-pumped.
She decided that she wanted it.
Oh yeah, then he kept fucking her on the couch. Yeah, that's a horrific
that,
scene.
Like, she looked concerned. He kept plowing away.
Oh, he did. Yeah.
And then she was like, no, but then she was like, oh, okay.
Again, we're going to mention Anna Faris because she is so incredibly talented, just completely wasted in this film. Dan Fogler's never been funny. I don't give a shit. Chris Pratt obviously has gone on to do better things.
Has on Broadway.
Okay, on Broadway, yeah. I've never liked him in anything he's done, but apparently on Broadway he's awesome. Topher Grace is hit and miss, obviously. I can understand why they put it on the shelf. I wish they just hadn't released it or try to push it. Also, did anybody notice the song "Take Me Home Tonight" is only featured in the trailer and not in the film? It's the name of the fucking movie. How do you not have the name of the movie?
Because they didn't get the rights to it to put it in the.
Then why would you call it? Why didn't you call the film "Safety Dance"? Then that doesn't make any sense.
No one gets taken home. No one goes home with anyone.
Oh,
It doesn't have anything to do with the plot.
Oh, that's a good point.
It
All
makes
right.
no sense. It's
Yeah.
so
Nobody went home with anybody except the brother and sister. And that's a whole different movie. All right, folks. So there you go. That is Take Me Home Tonight. Jesus Christ. Took it out and played with it a lot longer than we should have. Can we flush it, ladies? Can we please flush it?
Take Me Home Yesterday.
Not cool.
Yeah, definitely. Consider it flush. All right, that is it for this week. I want to thank my lovely co-cinematic flushers, Midwest movie mogul Colleen Griffin, Raging Buddha B movie queen Nora Crest, and Sassy Cinephile and PTSD'd Sarah Polton. Great job as always, ladies. We're going to be back next week to torture you with something else. Yes, we will have a guest to level us out as always. Until then, say goodbye, ladies.
Gag me with a spoon.
Oh, God. Now, see, this is, the ass end of the show. So now everybody gets creative. All right. Take Me Home Tonight.
Hi, this is Nora Crest, and I want to thank you for listening this week and every week as we flush these turds down our cinematic bowl here in the restroom. If you haven't already, please subscribe to us on iTunes and Google Play Music so we attract more listeners and you don't miss a single episode. We love feedback, so email us at signalsoffury@gmail.com with your comments and suggestions for future flushes. Also, be sure to check out our home restroom on the net, signalsoffury.com. Until next time, remember, we're here to flush it so you don't have to see it. I'm Nora Crest, and this has been the award-winning Soiled Restroom Cinema.